times out of 10, if a woman is stalking you over a man, it's not because she wants the man and the man want her because they'll be together. Especially if you're a woman that don't even post the man, it's not about him. It's about you.
The real shock in 2026 isn't that some men are single. It's that some men are genuinely happy about it.
Let me just say that this video took like 7 months to pop off. I think I had maybe 200 views on it, and now all of a sudden my notifications like are just blowing the fuck up. Not in a good way. People are just coming for me and hating me for this video. It was literally like a skit, a joke. It's called satire, humor, comedy, you know, not that deep, but thank you all for attacking me. It's been a pleasure reading all of your lovely comments, and I'll just shut the fuck up now and get off the internet. Thank you.
For years, the narrative leaned heavily on one assumption. Men need relationships more than they admit. That without constant validation, romance, and partnership, they'd crumble. They'd spiral. They'd come running back. But instead, a strange thing happened.
Women are scared of happily single men. You want to know why? Let's get into it. Being happily single as a man makes you more appealing. Men that don't need to be in a relationship. Men that have high standards. Men that don't chase women. They chase in purpose. This makes women think, wonder if that man is actually interested in them, and will in turn, y'all listen to this, increase the value of that man and his expressed interest in their minds.
Some men simplified their lives and felt lighter. No constant negotiation. No performance pressure. No emotional tightrope walking. Just routine goals, autonomy, and quiet. And that's what unsettles people. Not anger, not rebellion, but contentment.
So my husband told me that he's just really on a search for peace right now, and he just feels like being away from me and the family is what's helping him to stay at peace, and he just cannot be around me. If this is something that your spouse has said, I need you to understand, number one, that what they are feeling, what they are seeking is a counterfeit peace, and number two, they are not trying to find peace, they are actually running from shame. Because of course you feel at peace when you're running from the very thing that's going to hold you accountable. When you feel shame and guilt, it's very heavy, and you don't want to be around the very thing that makes you feel those things. And this is not to justify what they're doing, because it's not okay, but I need you to understand that if we know God is the God of peace, and we know that it's only through God that we obtain everlasting peace, if we know the Bible says that the wicked does not have any peace, and I'm not saying that your spouse is wicked, if we know those things to be true, how is it that you can come into agreement with the idea that your spouse being away from you, being away from the covenant that God has given him, is actually giving them peace? You have to ask yourself, what holds more weight, the word of God or the word of my husband, who has fallen short, who is separate from Christ, who is walking in his flesh and not being led by the Spirit? There is nobody on earth, there is no man or woman on earth that is more powerful than God, whose words hold more power and weight than God. Once you have the understanding that it is God who approves you and not your spouse, you will be able to see straight through what your spouse is saying. You will be able to put down your carnal understanding and your carnal mind and pick up things in the Spirit. You'll be able to see the truth of what's going on, which is seeing things through the perspective of God. So if you are struggling with pulling your identity out of your spouse, where everything they do, everything they say defines who you are, and you allow it to define who you are, DM me the word ready, and I'll send you a link to hop on a one-on-one call with me so I can give you practical ways on how to strengthen your identity in Christ.
Because when a man is miserable, you can debate him. When a man is desperate, you can influence him. But when a man is calm and fulfilled on his own, he's hard to move. The frustration isn't really about men being single. It's about men not appearing deprived.
For me, like, when I ask a guy, like, what is he passionate about? Like, sometimes it's like going to the gym, and I'm like, okay.
Yeah, like, anything else?
Yeah, I'm like, okay, well, you know what? I don't think that you're for me, but maybe I have a friend for you. You know? Like, you're so cute.
You can't make this shit up, man. You can't. Like, what's wrong with a dude being passionate about the gym? Like, it's just, this kind of woman does not want to see a man happy. That's it. It's crazy ass expectations in her head, man. But what does she like do for passion? What, makeup? Like, you're gonna do some makeup? Oh, I do makeup and I like to shop. Like, I don't understand this shit, man. I don't understand these stupid interviews. It makes you look so bad. There's so many videos on these interviews of women that they cannot stand to see a man happy. Like, what's wrong with that? I just don't get it. Like, what's wrong with a man being passionate about the gym or fishing or it's a cold game you're playing, man. I hope to God that you guys do not fall in the trap. I hope you guys do not end up with a woman like this. Your life will be over. Your life's gonna be nothing but stress, headaches, bull, and drama, and I promise you it's not something you want to be dealing with. Pick and choose wisely, man.
There's an expectation that opting out should come with visible regret. That choosing bachelorhood should look like loss. But when it looks like peace instead, the script breaks. And broken scripts make people uncomfortable.
If you're a grown man, once you hit 21 and you pulling your phone out making videos, I do not trust you at that point, because I feel like, me personally, this could be a personal thing, but I feel like social media is for women. I'm sorry. And it's for men to look at.
Ooh, man, we can't do nothing. No, I was just playing, but in all seriousness, there are a lot of women who just genuinely don't like to see men happy or men speaking their mind. There are a lot of girlfriends, a lot of fiancés, a lot of wives who don't like to see their man happy unless they're the reason their man is happy. They don't want to see their man going out with drinks with the fellas. They don't want to see their man going to watch sports. They don't want to see their man going to play sports. They don't want to see their man playing a video game. They don't want to see their man watching anime. If she's not the reason you're happy, she don't feel like you should be happy, because that other thing that's making you happy is taken away from her. And not only that, we live in a time, in a generation where most women don't care how they man think or really care how they man feel. And they actually care about that man. So why in the hell would they want to hear a random man on social media talking about how he feels or what he thinks? Like me, they don't give a fuck. They don't want to hear that. They don't care about how they man feel. Why would they care about how I feel or what I think?
It's not that men don't care about women. It's that some men have stopped centering their entire identity around partnership. That shift feels dramatic, not because it's loud, but because it's quiet and steady. And the quieter it is, the harder it is to argue with.
He says, I realized something recently. There's a lot of jokes out there about how women hate to see a man happy. There is some truth to it, but it's only partially true. Women love to see a man happy when he is being active or proactive. When he's happy about a mission, a goal, something he's really working hard on. Women love this. When he's doing things for the kids or for her and it clearly makes him happy to do so. Women love that. When he has the boys over for poker night or to watch the game, women don't love it but tolerate it because he's strengthening social bonds, etc. But when he's doing something lazy by himself, spending Sunday watching the game on the couch alone, or spending 45 minutes in the bathroom, or even just sitting in a dark room alone in silence, as I often do, they seem to hate this.
In 2026, the most controversial thing a man can be isn't angry. It's content without needing anyone's permission.
The craziest thing you got the ick for?
I don't like to see happiness sometimes. I don't know. I just saw a man like smiling.
What really stings isn't that men are single. It's that they don't look like they're missing anything.
Okay, ladies, when you're dealing with a grown man, these are some things that display you an alpha woman. Number one is trying to control him. If he don't do what you say, if you can't control his social media, if he don't move how you say move, the control part is if he don't do these things, you punish him with less access to you. Now he walking on eggshells just to get love and attention from his woman. Now this is not an excuse. You think you put them in check, but what you're really doing is leaving room for another woman to fill those empty voids. Listen, another woman might not be on your level at all, but she giving him something your coochie and credentials can't. Respect, encouragement, access, and love and support even after disagreements. Okay, number two is unnecessary, excessive, and aggressive backtalk. You always yelling. You always gotta have the last word. You use disrespectful words to make him more mad. Then you talk to him like he's not the man of the relationship. I'm not saying limit your speech, but learn the power in adjusting your speech, because again, you're leaving room for a woman who does listen, who is soft-spoken, who knows how to calm him and makes him feel understood when he speaks. And I know it's women who feel like being an alpha woman is more modern and being a submissive woman is too old-fashioned. But it's cool for men to be old-fashioned when it comes to him paying all the bills and having chivalry. Listen, I am a woman that feel like a man should pay all the bills, but I also believe women should earn that privilege. Ladies, it's okay to be soft for your man. It's okay to be a leader and accept leadership. The handsome hoe hero.
They're not posting sad quotes. They're not begging for connection. They're not rushing to fix their status. They're lifting, building, traveling, sleeping peacefully, stacking money, and laughing with friends. That image clashes hard with the old assumption that a man without a relationship must be incomplete.
Have you guys noticed that most married men aren't actually happy? Most married men are lying to themselves and gaslighting themselves into thinking that they're happy in a marriage which is loveless, sexless, where the woman always argues and belittles and emasculates them. Their wife endlessly nags at them while they're working full-time, trying to provide for her, for the family. Women will often victimize themselves and say that their mental load is overbearing. Meanwhile, the man has to look at the big picture, worry about the wife, the kids, working every day, endlessly paying for all of the bills, providing. He has to worry about investments, about retirement, about the college funds for the kids. Meanwhile, the woman only has to worry about preparing dinner, keeping the house clean, making sure that the kids are happy and healthy. The woman will say that she's overstimulated just because she has to cook dinner and keep the house clean. But they never stop to consider the mental load that men have. Most men stay in relationships so they don't lose everything, so they can see their kids and they don't have to split custody. It's truly so sad how many men gaslight themselves into staying in a relationship where both parties are not happy and they feel like they can't speak up because they have a wife who berates them or emasculates them and belittles them on the daily.
Because the leverage always depended on one thing: men believing they needed validation. Once that belief weakens, so does the pressure. A man who enjoys his own company negotiates differently. He moves slower. He chooses more carefully. He doesn't overextend just to avoid being alone. And that changes the dynamic completely.
Because to them, peace looks like happiness. And they don't like happiness when they're not around. She's not going to preserve your peace. And I know there's some women in here like, no, I'll preserve my man's peace. And you're a fucking liar. Because think about a time your man was in the room by himself, staring off into the distance, smiling. And you walk past the room. Did you look at him and go, he looks happy. I'm going to leave him by himself. He looks happy. Or did you go, the fuck is he smiling about? It better be me. It better be fucking me.
When happiness stops being conditional, the whole marketplace shifts. Attention isn't automatic anymore. Effort isn't guaranteed. Pursuit isn't endless. That's not hatred. That's recalibration.
So you know how men will say they don't like women that wear weave or makeup or lashes, and women will say, well, we don't do it for y'all, we do it for ourselves. And then men will respond by saying, well, this is why y'all don't get married, or this is why y'all baby mamas. A woman was made for a man. Y'all should be trying to do what we like, all of these things or whatever. So I finally found the male equivalent. I seen this guy come on my For You page. He was a bodybuilder. He was talking about how dating is a little bit hard when you're a bodybuilder because a lot of women aren't attracted to bodybuilders for some reason. And I bet a lot of men wouldn't even know that this is a thing, that a lot of women aren't attracted to bodybuilders, because women, we don't feel the need to constantly say what we don't like. But anyway, so a lot of other guys could agree with him, and they were saying like, yeah, you know, my dating life has been a little bit different since I started lifting heavy and became a bodybuilder or whatever. But I don't lift for women. I do it for me. And something that I noticed was no woman was trying to argue with him by saying, this is why you're not going to get married. This is why you're a baby daddy. You should be trying to attract a woman. None of the women were trying to go against the men that were saying that they just live for themselves, that they understand that, you know, being a bodybuilder, they might have a little bit more struggles when it comes to dating, but they don't care because they're not going to stop doing what makes them happy just to attract somebody else. I just thought it was very interesting just to see how men can say that they do something just for them, and there's not this outrage. Women, we don't feel the need to get upset for some reason and, you know, start taking cheap shots like men do. I literally made a post recently that said women should be the person that they dressing for. They should be able to dress for themselves. And men literally attacked me and the women that agree with me.
The discomfort comes from realizing that contentment can't be shamed out of someone. You can mock it, label it avoidance, call it coping, but if the man is genuinely at peace, none of it sticks.
Women don't like seeing men be happy, which is why you notice when you're moving on with your life or you find another girl, she's all up in your DMs, and it's like, yeah, that's because women, they're very egotistical. I'm not saying it's bad, I'm not saying it's good, but what I'm saying is women don't want to see you doing better without them. Me personally, I'm attracted to a man who could do better without me, because it's like, if you're doing worse without me, that's a reflection of me. Like, what type of girl would I be to date a man who cannot regulate his emotions without me? Like, your life is pointless without me. That's a lot, to be honest. So, at the end of the day, women love when men are depressed and broken without them, because it's like, oh, I must be that important. I must be that special. But it's like, wouldn't you want to leave a positive mark on a man's life rather than a traumatizing mark? Because women aren't stupid. They probably know this, because I know this, and I don't take advantage of it. But like, the more you get a man into his emotions, the more that you traumatize him, the more that he's going to remember you. And, you know, I'm fortunate enough to understand when a man is giving me his trust and his emotions, I know what I could do with it, but I don't do it. And that's something that a lot of women need to fucking think about, but they don't. Because most women are the same. And what do I mean by most women being the same? Most women want power and control, and they will do whatever it takes to get it, even if it includes hurting people. One-on-one coaching is in my bio.
In 2026, the loudest reaction isn't coming from angry men. It's coming from the shock that some men quietly built lives where happiness doesn't depend on being chosen.
Men stopped playing by the rules, and now everyone's freaking out. Let's break down why silence has become the loudest move.